Good morning everyone. We've made it through to day 5 of our daily devotions. I'm Jamie and I've been talking to you through our View from the River devotions. My final instalment is about some of our less fortunate times, which I hinted at back a couple of days ago. As I said in my previous devotions, our boating experiences have been wide and varied. We started with a wreck, and in those early days we had an engine that was unreliable, and this made the boat pretty much unusable. I can't think of a time when we went out and didn't have to ask for a tow back. In fact, one time we spent a whole day trying to fix the engine because we were so convinced it had broken, and it turned out we'd only run out of fuel, all 60 litres of it in a weekend. It was a thirsty beast. We would often have to flag down a passing boat when the inevitable had happened and ask very nicely for a tow to the shore, and in some cases they even gave us a tow back to our home mooring. However, we've come a long way since then. With many hours of work and effort, blood, sweat and tears, we've developed our boat into something far more beautiful and usable. And the new engine? Well, we've never had to ask for a tow back since. Isn't that a way to jinx it? What this has also meant is that we have now become the rescuers. On at least 5 times, on different occasions, we've helped people by towing them off of sandbanks when they've run aground. Twice we've helped people with engine failures by towing them back to the shore or, if we could, their home mooring. We've rescued boats that have come free from their moorings and even helped herd a group of cows back across the river when they'd swum across and got stuck on the other side. Through this series we've spoken about how God is always there for us. God has a plan for us. God's plan is perfect, and God is a foundation on which we can rely. The next step to take is seek His plan for us. Learn to listen and trust Him when He asks us to take that step of faith. Once we start doing this, and once we start to seek His plan, it will transform our wreck of a life into a follower of Jesus. And like it or not, people will start to notice this. They will probably see us doing things differently. They'll see us behaving differently, and they may even see us making some seemingly crazy decisions and asking, "Why did you do that?" But I'm sure this is just God's plan for our next step. This is the rescued becoming the rescuers. The wreck of an unreliable boat becoming a thing of beauty that can now rescue other boats in need. The chance to take your next step of faith with God and share your story. Now, this may sound complicated or scary, and it can be, but we must remember we're not alone, and we're all on a different stage in the plan, but God is in control. I'll be honest that when I was asked to do this series, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I'd always seen them and thought, wow, I'd love to give that a try, but I'm not really sure I could be trusted to do that, or I wouldn't know what to say. But I still said yes when the email arrived in my inbox. A perfect example of trusting God, believing in the skills He's given me, and probably taking my next step in God's plan for me. It took a while to do, and it was slow over time, but with lots of writing and rewriting and writing it out again, I think it's worked, and hopefully you've enjoyed the devotions and they've made some sort of sense. I don't know yet what God's got planned for me next, and it may be scary, and I may be holding off asking what it is. If I'm honest, I don't really ever felt I've heard God saying, go here and do this, but I certainly feel through helping at church with the tech team, coming through our fantastic youth group and going on to help become a leader, I must have been on God's plan at least at some point along the way. And looking back on it, I've really enjoyed it, and I feel like it's really benefited me. Let's pray. Father, I pray you will help us as we go forward in everything that we do, and that we will do it for you. I pray we will trust in you, follow you, and remember we can achieve anything that you ask us to if we do it in your name. Amen. As our final song for the week, I'm going to pick Build Your Kingdom Here by Rend Collective as our final song. I hope you've enjoyed this series. I've certainly enjoyed writing it, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Goodbye.